Hey 8th graders! Today we're going to be doing a guided composition activity and we're going to be composing our own music. So we'll be working in pairs with a student that also plays the same instrument as you, and we'll each be doing 16 measures. First we're going to fill in a note bank with the available note choices, then a rhythm bank with the available rhythm choices. We're going to choose some of those rhythm patterns for each measure. We're going to assign each note in the rhythm to a pitch and write the letter name above it. Then we'll finally write it in the staff. Hopefully we'll be able to play it for each other and record what we play. So this is what the worksheet looks like. Please write your name on the name line, the instrument you play. This example is going to be for flute. What clef you play in, so treble or bass, and then what key your composition is going to be in. So here you'll notice there's a little stick figure, and he is about to walk up this stairs, and it's called the major scale stairs. So this composition is going to be in B flat, so I copied down the B flat here. So it says B flat major scale. That B flat is the first tone in the B flat major scale. Now I'm going to write out the scale, one note in each of these steps. So B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A. So what notes are going to be in our note bank? The key is what tells us. So if you have a C instrument, so maybe you play bassoon or trombone, you're going to be writing it in B flat major. So your notes are B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A. So ask the people around you what type of instrument you have. You might have C, B flat, E flat, or an F instrument. Remember, this is the major scale formula. So make sure you're actually entering in notes that are a major scale. So they follow the pattern of a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Alright, so what is our chord progression? Chord progression is what chords are going to move, the harmony moves from within the piece. So it's going to start at 1, go to 4, return to 1, then go to 5, 7, and come back to 1. So let's get the notes for the chord progression. First, we're going to work with the tonic or 1 chord. It's called the 1 chord because the root of it is the first scale degree in our B flat scale. So that's why there's this dotted arrow here connecting the first scale degree in this major scale stairs and the root of the tonic chord. To get the rest of the tones, it's easy. You take the root here where the R is, you skip a note, and you take the 3rd scale degree. So that's why I put the D here where it says 3rd. I'll skip the next note, and I'll take the F as the 5th of the tonic chord. So for our tonic chord, scale degrees are B, B flat, D, F. Alright, so for the subdominant or 4 chord, we have another set of notes. So the 4th chord is based off of the 4th scale degree here. So if I take the E flat, it's connected by a dotted line here to the root. To get the next 3 chord tones, it's easy. I go from the root, skip the next scale tone, take the 3rd, so I'll take that G as the 3rd of this chord. I'll skip the A, I'll take the B flat as the 5th. So the root is E flat, the 3rd is G, and the 5th is B flat. So E flat, G, B flat are the 3 note options I have when the harmony is the 4th chord or subdominant chord. Alright, let's do the same thing with the dominant chord. So it's based on the 5th scale degree, that's why it's also called the 5 chord. I'll take the F as the root, I'll skip the G, and I'll take the 3rd, which is going to be A. I'll skip the B flat, and I'll take the C as the 5th of the chord. So I wrote over here where it says fifth. Then we'll skip the D and we'll take the seventh as the seventh of the chord. So the reason why we're going up to a seventh and not stopping on the fifth is because often the harmonies will have a 5-7 chord. So there's 4 note options versus 3. Alright, so the key is you need variety. So what rhythms are in our rhythm bank? Here are some options. We are in 4/4 time, so we have lots of options. The key is that it just needs to add up to 4 beats. So you can make a mixture of rests, of quarter notes, eighth notes, whole notes, half notes. So use a different rhythm for each measure, and don't use a full measure of rest. That's a cop-out. And remember, there must be 4 beats in each measure. So here's our time signature. The top number means that there's 4 beats in the measure, and the bottom number means that a quarter note equals 1 beat. So find this section, it's at the top of your worksheet, and fill that out so you remember that each measure needs 4 beats, and each beat equals a quarter note. So this is what the first page of our worksheet is going to look like. Keep this by you as we start to compose because it has all the information you need. Alright, so what I did, the next step is going to be choosing a rhythm for each measure. So I made sure that each of these measures adds up to 4 beats. So this first measure, quarter note is 1, a dotted half note would be 3 beats. So I chose a different measure for each of a different rhythm for each measure so that there's lots of variety. And this is what I chose for the second half. So I'm writing it on that blue line or gray line above the staff. So the next step after you do that is to choose pitches for each of the harmonies. So keep the first page that we just worked on next to you. Refer to it and copy over the root, third, and fifth of the tonic chord. So the tonic is that first chord we figured out based on the first scale degree of the B flat major scale. Copy over the B flat to the root, D is the third, and the F is the fifth. Once you've copied those over, now you know that that's all your note choices for these 4 measures of music. You want to include mostly B flat, D's, and F's. So notice when I made my choices, I had a C here, and I have an E flat. Those are okay because they're passing between these 3 notes. So you can add in some extra notes, but only really if they're like a step in front of or a step behind one of the chord tones. So do the same thing here for the subdominant. Figure out all the chord tones, so that'd be E flat, G, and B flat. You copy them over from that first sheet that we did. Put them in these boxes. Those are your ingredients, so to speak, for the 4th chord. So all of these choices I made, I wrote them in blue above the rhythm first, and they're mostly those 3 notes. I added a C here to pass between, to go from the B flat to a C and then back to a B flat. I added an F there to pass between the E flat and G. So, but there's mostly E flat, G, and B flat. Okay, next we're gonna write 4 measures for the tonic chord. So we've got B flat, D, and F. Here I chose the chord tones and wrote them above my chosen rhythm in blue, and then I transferred the notes to the staff. And finally, we've got the 5-7 chord, so we've got 4 options for this one: F, A, C, and E flat. I wrote my choices above the rhythm, and then I copied it onto the staff there. The last measure is going to go back to tonic, because it's got a B flat. Listen to the example melody, play your melody for your partner, and then mess around with the dynamic markings and different articulations to make the listener of your piece either feel a certain way, imagine a certain thing, and you get to be creative. I hope you liked my composition activity. Thank you.